You got Frogan news? Frogan news in 2026? Hold up a second. Hold up. We got some Frogan news. We got Frogan.
Do you guys remember Frogan, aka Froggy, aka the person, well, one of the people that were getting sued by Ethan Klein? Denims got sued, Casey Chong got sued and lost and had to pay and apologize. And the last person on that list was the one, the only, the iconic, the CEO of Burger King, Froggy, aka Frogan. It's been months, right? It's been...
What the hell is that windshield? What is this? What is this?
a long time since the last time we talked about Frogan here on the channel, and truth be told, I did miss talking about my queen. The title isn't lying, I'm not lying, I'm not exaggerating. Frogan lost the lawsuit. Long story short, Ethan Klein from H3 was suing Froggy, and I was one of the people among thousands, if not millions of people who were like, fuck yeah. Frogan got sued about 6 to 7 months ago, and today we got this insane update to the lawsuit. Ethan Klein won his lawsuit against Frogan. This is after Ethan Klein gave Frogan multiple opportunities to reach a settlement, to apologize. Let's meet somewhere in the middle. And Frogan thought she was Sigma, and she thought she could win this. I don't know how many of you guys remember this, but she kept dodging receiving official documents by not answering the door or pretending she wasn't home. I talked about this a few months ago. Essentially, Frogan is beyond fucked. She lost, and even if she wants to reply right now to the lawsuit, it's way too late. Where the fuck did the money from the GoFundMe go? It completely disappeared. I believe she raised...
I can take a real good guess where that money disappeared off to. I can think of good two good reasons where that money disappeared off to. Her nails and her DoorDash.
$50,000. Did she waste all of the money on DoorDash and Uber Eats Premium? Like, where did the money go? She didn't use it for the lawsuit because she never responded to said lawsuit. Where the fuck did the money go to? I think she...
Also, there's another thing too, unrelated though to the actual video. Well, kind of it is related to it. I didn't know this was real. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought this was modded or so for you to race the Gundam. I thought this was fake. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't think it was actually real because it was posted on Twitter, so.
Pulled a chibi reviews and just stole money from people. Okay, so she raised $39,000. Let's just round it up to 40.
You should have gave me that 30. If you wanted to lose 39K, or if you wanted to lose money, just send it over to me, you know?
40K. She didn't reply. Did she break GoFundMe TOS, or is she going to keep all the money? What is going to happen to the $40,000 that people donated to her for the lawsuit? YouTube lawyer Legal Mindset says, unless Frogan can show receipts, she may have violated GoFundMe's terms of service, especially 8.2, which prohibits misleading or inaccurate fundraisers. I would have done what Casey Tron did, and that is take the L, apologize, and meet somewhere in the middle. If this would have been me, I would have reached out to Ethan. I would have been like, my bad, I'm sorry, what the fuck? Why did I say it like that? I'm sorry, can we meet somewhere in the middle? I don't have $150,000 on me right now. Let's work together, all right? Let's figure something out. I'll take the L. What Frogan and Denims did was so stupid. They thought they would actually win, and well, look where Froggy is. If I was her, I would leave the country immediately. But let's go to a real lawyer, not sense. I did not go to law school, even though I seriously considered it, and I was this close.
Case, and that's because today we have filed in the U.S. District Court, the Central District for California, we had filed a request for default.
My question is, how does this information, like, as in, like, how did they, like, search this information up? Like, did they, like, just randomly, like, I wonder how Frogan's lawsuit is going up. Let me go search it up real quick. Did they just randomly just came to them? Like, I want to know how it, like, just magically, like, came to them.
Judgment against defendant
go, like,
Morgan
look it up
Kamal
that day,
Majid.
you know?
That is exactly Frogan in this case. So what is a motion for default judgment? That's a motion essentially saying, hey, they haven't responded. They've passed the deadlines. So now we're going to assume liability. So once this is accepted by the court and approved by the court, Liability is completely on Frogan. She gives up the fair use defense. She can no longer argue the law. All of that is out. The only thing left after this is damages. So you can argue over damages. So she would have a chance to speak up and say, no, the damages aren't that much, or let's argue over the damages. But essentially, the trial is over. It's done. She's lost after this point. So let's get through the facts to figure
So
out.
wait, so you're telling me, so you guys are telling me that like she basically like did not respond to the lawsuit? Is that basically is what it is? Like she didn't bother to like, I don't know, pretty much. Okay, all right. I would have personally responded to it, but that's just me anyways. I wouldn't ignore it.
Exactly how bad this was and how much Frogan did not put up a fight.
It's like, how stupid could you be? Like, don't get it wrong, I knew Frogan was fucking stupid, but how could you leave this lawsuit unattended? Now, because I don't want you guys to be as down bad as Frogan and others alike, you might want to hear this. I'm looking at you. Do you want to potentially earn $1,000? Recently, a jury ordered Meta and you
Anyways.
compensation. And with that said, let's just get right back.
Plaintiff TED Entertainment hereby requests the clerk enter default in this matter against defendant Morgan Kamal Majid, PKA Frogan, on the grounds that the defendant has failed to appear or otherwise respond to the complaint within the time prescribed by the Federal Rules of Procedure. Now, understand, this is not asking much. All that will be required is a very simple filing. She could have told her lawyer, hey, I'm on a budget. Hey, I don't want to spend that much money. Hey, try to keep this to, just a one-pager, the bare bones. Let's just give a basic complaint response so we don't default. They could have kept that to a minimum amount. You can tell your lawyer, hey, keep this cheap, just the bare minimum. I want to delay this. I want to try to push this off. That's definitely something you could tell their lawyer, but they didn't even give that. And they've had almost a year at this point, so since August of last year. So this was filed, of course, June 19th of last year. July 17th of last year, Frogan got the complaint. And on August 5th of last year, they had a joint stipulation to extend her deadline from August to October and also give her time for these filings. Since then, they also engaged in settlement negotiations. Now, the counsel for both sides can't talk about the details of settlement negotiation. However, I would like to speculate here, if I may, and I would like to say that they probably did the bare minimum in negotiation to make it kick down the line, to just take this and extend this out as far as possible. Obviously, they didn't come up with an agreeable settlement. And I think during this period of time, Frogan was looking at Casey Tron and her settlement. And she was thinking, hey, look, if I settle, I'm going to have to give all of my legal defense fund over to Ethan Klein. And instead of doing that, let me kick this down the can and use those funds for my Big Macs. Yes.
Vaya, pues,
It's funny because it's most likely true. This
mañana?
Was for,
ten cuidado.
Let me read it bar for bar. Rogan's lawsuit defense fund. I don't know, guys. Maybe this is because my IQ is, 6 digits. But to me, this says I will use whatever money I make from this to fight the lawsuit against the bully that is Ethan Klein. Why not use your lawsuit defense fund on the lawsuit? I think Frogan is going to pocket this money. If not, this money already went to like 30 Big Macs. Hopefully that's not what happened. I don't understand why she didn't use her lawsuit defense fund to fight the lawsuit. I mean, that's what it's for, yet she didn't use it for that. Hopefully I'm getting my point across. It just looks extremely suspicious. I want to know, where is the money? Where did those $40,000 go to? That's a lot of money.
Let's use that for the Big Mac fund over this period of time. And as I whittle this down, we'll eventually just not ignore it, whatever else. And hey, maybe this will go away. And maybe she got advice that it'd be totally okay for her to just ignore this and default. Maybe she got somebody whispering in her ear, yeah, forget about it. He's not actually going to go after you, or it's going to look bad, or you're going to become some sort of sob story. Well, that's not the case. The court, of course, at this point, had every right to enter into a default judgment, which is what they're requesting. So they informed them on April 20th that they intended to proceed with litigation, gave her 3 weeks, and their deadline to respond was May 11th. That did not come. That day came and gone. And now, boom, we're at default judgment territory. Now, how is this not a scam? Because if we look at her legal defense fund, her lawsuit defense fund on GiveSendGo, she raised almost $40,000, $38,756, including donations that were running up to this day. She was getting donations very, very recently that were coming into her fund. So she's still out there grifting for her legal defense, despite the fact that she hasn't really used this for legal defense. Really, there's been no filings on her part, significant filings, over almost a year. Since August of last year, she really...
Hey, man. Maybe I should start. Maybe I should start a GoFundMe, you know? Chat, should I start that? Debo comenzar algo así para que yo pueda ganar pisto también. I'm like, if people want to lose money, just send it over to me, you know? Just send it over to me, you know? It technically, if you would send it over to me, it would actually go to a good cause, actually, instead of sending it to them, you know? So it's better you send it over to me than to them. Trust me. At least that would go towards the VTuber stuff, you know?
really hasn't done anything. So what's going on? Where did all this money go? Didn't she have to use that for legal funds? Well, I called this out last year, and I am proven absolutely right yet again that she tucked some weasel words in here so she didn't get hit with scamming or fraud allegations.
After nearly 2 years of a targeted harassment campaign against me, Ethan Klein has now escalated into suing me for reacting to his video on Hassan and myself on his video titled Content Nuke Hassan Piker. This fundraiser is to cover any and all legal fees associated with his complaint, any counterclaims I may have against him, and any other bills and personal expenses from lost wages and damages arising from this litigation. Personal expenses. Wow. They literally legit robbed them of their money. Lo robaron. Todo el pisto lo robaron a los gentes. That's funny, to be honest. Voy a poner, I'm gonna put in the description. Voy a poner esto en la descripción cuando yo comienzo uno de estos, la GoFundMe. Voy a poner para comprar para mis pilis y también comprarme tacos cada noche, unos burritos y quesadilla y unos también pupusas. No te preocupes, tu dinero va a estar aquí para los bilis de que me van a, ¿cómo decir? Sue me, you know? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna lie, to be honest, like, if I was gonna get sued, if I'm gonna get sued, I'd be like, it's all gonna be for tacos and burritos and tortas and empanadas and fucking pupusas, fucking, you know, all of this stuff in like in the description part, you know. I'd be like, yeah, this is all for that, you know.
So if we turn back to the actual language that she tucked into that GiveSendGo legal defense fund, you can see it says here, this fundraiser is to cover any and all legal fees associated with his complaint,
That's
talking
so
about
funny.
Ethan Klein. Any counterclaims I may have against him, well, she can't file any counterclaims if she defaults. That's totally gone. So that's some BS to begin with. And then saying any other bills and personal expenses.
I guess a Big Mac is a personal expense. I love the...
That's where all the money disappeared off to, was in her nails. Just saying. Like, even I just have normal nails. If I wanna get like pretty nails done or anything like that, it just be the normal like kind of like glossy ones with like the white nail at the tip of it, and that's basically it. That's like generally it. That's all I would get, you know. That would be basic, or just get like a pedicure. And that's also something that I would personally do too. But most of the time I'd rather just have like the fake nails on top of it, because I usually clip my nails at the end of the day. But even then, I don't go for like super long monstrosity nails, you know. But granted, I used to do this a long time ago though, when you know when it was a little bit more cheaper, right? But I didn't do it consistently. I did it like uh, maybe like to treat myself, maybe like once every so often, you know. That's kind of like basically it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to remember when was the last time I went to a nail salon. It was before COVID. Yeah, it was before COVID.
Loophole.
That was a
Maybe
long time ago.
Frogan does have
That was
5-digit
like ridiculously a
IQ.
long time
Maybe she
ago. They're
played
too
the whole
expensive.
system. Maybe she played all of
They're
us.
way too
Maybe this
expensive
was her
now.
plan all along. Let's set to default. I'll lose. Or maybe
I would
declare
like to go one day,
bankruptcy,
but
and
it's too long.
I'll get to make
Too long.
$40,000, which is probably more than she's ever made from her career streaming. And she's been streaming since 2020, so that's about what, maybe $8,000 per year. I swear to God, if this is her loophole for her to keep the money, that is insane. And it's becoming way too easy to steal. And I'm like, how come I haven't tried this? Let me set up a GoFundMe right now.
So her whole horse is going to be bet on personal expenses and bills. So she used this for rent. She used this once again for the Big Mac fund, you know, chowing down on Cheetos, fried chicken, whatever else she did. But I mean, she was not using this for this fund. And because of that, she's able to say, hey, I didn't scam you because I put personal expenses in there. So you can't sue me. You guys can't come back and say I defrauded you because, hey, I disclosed this could be my personal expenses. So in judgment here, looking at this, I absolutely believe that she clearly used this for her personal expenses chiefly.
I love that it says Frogan ate it all.
Because she really didn't do
even
anything in
notice
this
that,
lawsuit
actually.
significantly. Her legal bills are probably no more than a couple $1,000s in this. Over totaling based on what she did. She really didn't have to spend more than that for what she's done so far. It really isn't that expensive to just, you know, go and have settlement negotiations, do some bare bones work, etc. And not even filing a response, a basic short 1-2 page response, something very simple, is absolutely disgraceful, having put up a legal defense fund, not even putting up a fight, not even taking this to summary judgment or a further stage where she could try to make an attempt to argue the law, try to do what Denham's did. She's not even gone as far as Denham's, right? Denham's at least shown, hey, she's willing to put up some level of fight in this. She hasn't even tried. Frogan has been sitting in her room, not doing anything with this. And if you look at the actual liability, it's going to be large. It's going to be over 200K. Likely the statutory damages alone are up to 150K, and that doesn't include any of Frogan's profits or any of Ethan's lost revenue. So if they're able to cobble together 50 or 100K of lost profits or Frogan's revenue, something like that, as well as attorney's fees, because Ethan can tack his attorney's fees onto this, that certainly is going to be expensive, because we all know that Ethan has the best lawyers on this that are very expensive. That's certainly going to get over 200K. So we're looking at a 6-figure amount. That's going to be a lot for Frogan, for someone who is constantly begging for money and saying she's broke.
Oh, she is fucked. Like, I knew the situation was bad, but I mean, when you put it like that, yeah, she's fucked. She's probably not even gonna make 200K in her whole streaming career. The only person that could come in here and save her is Hassan. And knowing Hassan, he's not doing that. He's too busy shocking dogs, so I don't think he's gonna jump in and help Frogie out. Yeah, I think she's cooked. So yeah, instead of paying $40,000 or $50,000, now she's gonna have to pay over $200,000. So
what do I think her strategy is? I think it's to declare personal bankruptcy. I think her strategy all along has been to deplete these funds. So even if Ethan Klein wins, she can say, hey, that fund is empty. I already drained that fund. So you can't get anything from that. And I am personally broke. She will declare bankruptcy after the judgment. So, hey, you're not going to get anything from me. So I think that's her strategy. Now, that doesn't always work out. In some cases, there can still be liability attached. Now, that's going to be up for Ethan Klein to figure out that and fight that battle. But I think that's going to be her strategy in all of this. But without a doubt, we can say that Frogan ate it all.
She got herself into this mess, and she did absolutely nothing to get herself out of this very shitty situation. She hasn't even tweeted or talked about the situation, which tells me that she's freaking out. I think it might be the end of Frogie. Frogie. I gotta keep it real with y'all. I don't think Frogan is gonna be able to come back from this. This is as far as she gets.
Is
Her
this
career
over for the
alone
rising
is
star,
pretty much
Frogan?
over at this point. There is no coming back. But anyways, with that said, what do you
She
guys
ate the
think of the
entire
situation?
buffet
Let me know in the
table.
comments below. I'll see you next time. All right, peace out.
Holy cow, it's actually over for Frogan. Wow, that's crazy.
Do you guys remember Frogan, aka Froggy?
That is crazy. That's actually crazy. It's actually over for Miss Frogan. Man. That's crazy. It's over. She's gonna have to go back to her family, you know? Oh no. The scariness of the audacity that she has to leave California. Massive day for the unemployed. Frogan lost her lawsuit to Ethan Klein. You don't know who Frogan is? Well, Frogan is that one person or so who likes to hate America, but she also lives in America. Please make it make sense to me. She likes to talk all this, like, she likes to talk about all this shit about America and everything, but then, like, she lives in America. And also, not just America, she lives in California. The most, like, I guess you can say the most corrupted, one of the corrupted states in America, who has it, like, kind of like the easiest, and the most woke state, too, as well. So, you know, I'm just saying, New York is pulling ahead of California. There, you guys are still in the same fucking zip code, okay? All right, doesn't matter. Anyways, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. But yeah, it's kind of crazy to see this, you know? At least California ain't the bottom. It'll always be the bottom, so. Anyways, it's over for Miss Frogan. It's over. It's Jover. Ya se terminó. Su carrera de said streamer. Ya se terminó, ya. Her career for being a streamer, chat. It's over. It's donezo. She's not coming back. She's not recovering from this. And it feels pretty good to see the rising star, you know, falling from becoming a rising star to becoming the falling star. Feels pretty great. The two-time champion rising star is becoming the 5-time champion of the falling star.